Hello Carolliving family, thank you so much for your support so far. Thank you for watching our videos, for subscribing. Thank you for your engagement. Keep subscribing, tell a friend to tell a friend, and let's hit 1,000 by Christmas. Let's say give us a Christmas gift of 1,000 subscribers. Please tell everybody, tell everyone. Today we're going to continue in our series, the interior design style. I hope that you're starting to discover your interior design style. And today I'm starting with an interior design style called the mid-century modern. And I'm going to speak more of that design style, but pay homage to the African ethnicity, the African descent, African heritage. The mid-century modern interior design styles pays homage to like a specific time period, and particularly 1933 to 1965. Basically any furniture, any tables, any accessories, any possibly buffet sets that came in that time period, when you use them in your design style, that's a mid-century modern style. We are talking Johnson sets, but of that time you would find that they would have like Johnson sets with very woven like chair handles. They would have like little tires on the chair stands, even on the beds. They would have like particular woven shapes, like they are curvy. And then the materials used in those times majorly the velvets, the leathers. Of course, you can say that those very materials still exist now, but right now you can find that sometimes actually it's the thick version of them, or like the faux. When they say like a faux leather, it's not a real leather. It's a synthetic material that has been made to mimic leather. But then it was actual, when someone used leather, it was actual leather. And when you find even velvet, right now we still have velvet, but you can find that it varies in thicknesses. It's a little bit thinner, but back then it was a thick, cushiony like leather. And that's a mid-century modern style. You find the chairs are really like geometrical in shapes. Back then I feel like industrially they were, because it was modern time, it was an industrial revolution time, there was so much creativity. Most of the pieces that are of that time have more detail in design. Like you notice that they didn't just somebody took time to carve it out. Whether it was a table, whether it was a chair, whether it was a bed, you would realize that it actually had a bit of more work to have it. And then also we had so much artisanry. Like we would always have so many people doing lots of things by hand to come out with this shape. They are kind of detailed, and you can say that your interior design style can be that. Often when you go, for instance, at your grandmother's, you may find a few pieces, you may not place it, but it could be just in that interior design style. Mid-century modern is basically paying homage to a time period. So any accessories that were in that time period are mid-century modern. I know that you can have a twist to the European side, you can have a twist to the US side, but mostly you can also have a twist to the African side. And the African side, it's broad and diverse, because Africa is a continent, it's not just one country. And you cannot say a mid-century modern piece in Egypt would look like a mid-century modern piece maybe in West Africa or in South Africa. They are of the time period, but often they will have a little bit, pay homage to the ethnicities in those countries or in those regions. So you find that it's kind of a broad style. You can actually define it by country, and then you'll find pieces that pay homage to that time period and know that they will be in that time. Velvets, leathers, woody, like handmade quirky stools. Those were mid-century modern, and I know that there's some of us who still like, I love vintage stuff, so anything that is of that like pays homage to like the old times and was carefully crafted. For me, that's the thing I'll always go for some reason. And maybe somebody said I'm like an old soul or something. Like I always go for something that I know someone put their heart and their soul to make. It was like it's detailed. It's not just like, we just shaped it, like we made a box, It's often very, very detailed in the way they made them. If that is your interior design style, and you can maybe identify, or maybe your mom's or your grandmother. By the way, when you're designing spaces for older people, take note to bring in such pieces, because oftentimes you would want to design for your mother or for your parents. you want to maybe do a preservation project on your village home, and then you're just thinking of bringing modern pieces. Sometimes it feels like you have just like you're pulling them back to your time. It's sometimes good for you to actually go and design their spaces in the with accessories that define their time, that bring back memories. They can say, you know, when I was maybe growing up, this chair, we had such a chair sitting in a particular space. It could have been maybe a restaurant they would go to, or it could have been you know, like in the towns back then, or in the small trading centers, could have been the one place that had maybe a few Western, maybe like people from the Western culture coming through. So you have to be able to design, especially for the older people. It's important to know that their times were different. So it's good to design their spaces with a mindset that you want to make them cozy in their interior design focus. Anybody who likes that style, please comment below. What would you put in? Please share pictures even on our Facebook page. You know, attach something to show that, you know, this is what I would use for this style, and let's just engage us, and let's hope that we are learning together. I hope that these sessions are helping, and I hope that we can continue learning. Thank you so much for listening, and keep subscribing to our channel.